Good morning, this is Lori, Girl on the Ridge, with another design team project for Tsunami Rose for the month of July. This month I chose altar tags. I have 3 different altar tags. I'll go through the size and we'll flip through, and then at the end of the video I'll show you some of the supplies that I've used. So we will start, we'll go right with the biggest. Put them aside. Now with this project I use Life of Bloom and her ephemera packages, flowers, big elements. I mixed because her papers mix so well together. So these tags I will put right into one of my junk journals. The largest tag here is 9.5 by 4, and I made it fold out. So we have some paper here. I used some stickles, clear rock candy, some seam binding. I use a lot of her flowers. These are my little envelopes, and in here is like a little tuck spot. I Kool-Aid dyed some paper, and here's another little piece of paper and another Kool-Aid dyed paper, and we tucked in on the back there is some Life of Bloom paper, and then I put some tissue paper on it, and there's some doilies. So there's a lot going on there. And we just stick this in here. And then when you open it, we have a little tuck spot. We have little miniature envelopes. And we have her ticket, and then there's a little envelope tuck spot, and here's a tuck spot. I mean, these are really good to put in the back of a junk journal or fold out page. These have been glossy accented along with gessoed over it. There's some lace, some of her tags. This is an envelope that has been embossed with one of my folders. You just flip it over, and here's another little booklet. Set that down. Just a little booklet that I stenciled over, put a little copper, rub and buff piece of little lace. So I just made a little booklet to write in the lace. That just goes in the envelope. And then just another piece of Kool-Aid dyed paper for writing in a pocket. I mean, you could just treat this like a junk journal. And then extra writing. And then here I just put another little tuck spot. And that folds up. And I fold it. And let's see, we have an envelope or a flip over here. We have double pockets. We have 2 little booklets. And pocket there. Uh-oh, I must have glued it. Nope. And another pocket here. Another little punch pocket, lace, cheesecloth. So that is the first one. Second one. Again, this is a little fiber seam binding. This is a Life of Bloom paper in the background. I stenciled over it. I used some rusty hinge. I used vintage photo just to get the right color that I wanted. Another little envelope. This is a die cut from Spellbinders. And I fussy cut a lot of Tsunami Rose's flower ephemera. This is a coffee filter. I like that rustic look. Now in here, I just love this, how this turned out. I did a lot of fussy cutting on these forget-me-nots. I can hold it up a little. There's some bling here, and the sparkly, that is the Stickles clear rock candy. Here is a little Yvonne Crafty White did this, so I said, well, we could put it in an envelope. You can do any size. It's a little cheesecloth. These are the Spellbinders little envelopes with a little bling and just fussy cut. I put a little piece of paper in there. And then over here, again, I'm gonna set it back down. Another little piece of paper with a ribbon. And I just glued a little piece of forget-me-not. It just looks old, romantic. These little envelopes measure 1.5 by 2, but this is the die cut. Let's see. And here I Kool-Aid some paper and just left it where you can write on it with a little, this is one of my die cuts. And that just folds over. And I just left this plain. You can even write on it this way with a little envelope. Or, sorry, butterfly. And that's 2. And the third one is, I just put a little piece of seam binding. Another little envelope. Another little bingo card. Again, this is Life of Bloom. Tucked it in. And on this again, because I wanted, the brightness or the vintage look, I went over it a little with the gesso to just tone it down a little. And again, I used the rusty hinge and the pinks and the golds. Left writing spot and a little booklet. And in here, these were a punch. So I have 3 little tiny envelopes and little file folders. And then I have, again, I did the Kool-Aid dyed index cards. And the little writing and little tags from her paper collection. So that is what I came up with to use probably in next month's junk journal that I'm going to do with Life of Bloom. Again, the writing paper. And I just tied it with some steam binding. So that's the smallest. Inside the smallest, this is a 7.5 by 3. This is 8.25 by 3 3/4. And then this is 9.5 by 4. So there's my 3 tags. Now, I had a couple comments on Junk Journal Junkies about what did I use for adhesive. I've used Aleene's tacky glue. I use the art glitter. This is really good. This I use a lot when I do a whole page because it goes on real thin. So this I got right off of Amazon. I'm sure you can search for that. This is my glossy accents that I just love for all my flowers. That again I got on Amazon. And the other thing I used was the Distress Stickles Clear Rock Candy. So I used that. These are my punches. I think I got these at Marshall's years and years ago. It's McGill Creativity. And that's the punch I use for the plain envelopes. These little ones. It's so tiny, they're almost like a 1 by 1 or 1 by 1.5. So I used that, and then, and again, this was the die cut one. This is 1.5 by 2.5. And then the other one was, this is the fold slaps, again by McGill. And I've had this for a long time. Those are the 2 punches I used. And I wanted to show you one little thing on how to make your own tags. I seen this on somebody's video and I can't remember which one I seen it on. It's so simple. You just take your corner, cut it, save that, flip it over to the other side. You gotta flip it over. Line it up. And cut it, and you'll have a perfect tag every time. I just thought that was a cool little trick, and I can't remember. Can't remember what I watched to give the credit to. But again, it's just cut the size you want, cut the corner, hold it, make sure you flip it over to the other side. And just line it up. Cut it, and then you get a perfect tag. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful, crafty day. Bye.